A very pleasant good evening and welcome to night one of the 2025 Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships presented by the Health Plan. West Banco Arena is the scene for tonight's matchups. First up, it's Point Park, the number 10 seed. The Pioneers in their first season in the league. They're 10-18 on the season. They take on the number 7 seeded Frostburg State Bobcats. They come in at 12-16. Eric Little, EJ Shadzinski courtside with you here from West Banco Arena. And again, night one of a tournament. What do you expect on an opening night of a tournament, especially for a team like Point Park that's in the league for the first time this year?
Yeah, it's got to be exciting for all the players. And I actually like to play on the first night because if you can play well, get some confidence, advance, you get a day's rest before your next game.
Well, there's a lot of rest versus rust that they talk about. And again, these teams are going to play number 2 Fairmont State on Thursday, and that's going to be an extremely tough draw. But you're right, you do get that day to kind of decompress. Absolutely. Rather Friday, excuse me, so you're right, a day to decompress.
Yeah, you get a day off, and so absolutely. And I always felt like playing in a big arena like this, if you can get your confidence shooting and get used to the depth, that'll carry over to the next round.
The thing to remember with Point Park is rebounds. They've got a guy in Nazareth Fisher. He's the only player in the conference to average a double-double this season, a career-high 35 points, a season-high 18 boards against Salem in a senior day loss on Saturday. Nazareth Fisher coming off of that massive game, 35 points, 18 boards, and they've got 2 guys in double figures in points per game, Caden Warder and Nazareth Fisher. So for a team that gobbles up rebounds, that's going to put the emphasis on Frostburg State to shoot the ball really well today.
Yeah, and really important for those guys to stuff the stat sheet as much as they can, take the pressure off their teammates, and hopefully get off to a good start.
Yeah, Point Park, again, behind that big man, Nazareth Fisher, that's the guy they'll be looking to feed today as they take on a Frostburg State team that has the 2 top theft artists in the conference. Kobe Baptiste, 61 steals. Jaden Baker, 44 steals. They need to get those steals, and they need to hit the threes. They're tied for 5th in threes in the Mountain East Conference with 260. So if they can turn defense into offense, Frostburg State is on to good things tonight.
Yeah, and no matter what the atmosphere, you have to take care of the basketball. And certainly, with good defenders out there on the court, that's going to be at a premium. You want to get a good shot every time down the court.
Absolutely. Frostburg State's got the guys that can shoot the rock. They got the guys that can take it away. Point Park has guys that can rebound. Should be a really interesting 7-10 matchup from West Banco Arena. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go through the starting lineups. Point Park and Frostburg State coming up on MEC TV.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The Health Plan, here for you.
What are you working for? Do you want to pursue your athletic potential while earning a degree that will benefit you for a lifetime? Do you want to play at the highest level in your sport? Do you want to be a champion? That's what the proud members of the Mountain East Conference are advancing toward every day. Providing opportunities and pursuing excellence. The Mountain East Conference.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
For over 4 decades, the Health Plan has called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the Health Plan, we don't just work here, we live here. The Health Plan, a proud corporate partner with the Mountain East Conference.
Welcome back to West Banco Arena. Point Park and Frostburg State getting set to start the men's half of this tournament. The women started earlier today with a pair of women's matchups. Starting lineups for Point Park and Frostburg State. Point Park will be without Aiden Miller, promising freshman, had a double-double on Saturday against Salem, out with a bit of a knee issue. So in his place, we'll see Nathaniel Van, Aiden Anderson, Nazareth Fisher, the guy we talked about earlier, the double-double artist, Nick Marshall and Brendan Williams. Frostburg State starts Kobe Batiste, Jay Sean Freeman, Chase Whippen, Jaden Baker, and Eric Sonberg. Whippen dropped 22 last time these two teams met. And Jay Sean Freeman, he dropped 28 with 8 boards when these two teams last met. This season, Point Park swept, they were swept by Frostburg in a pair of matchups, a 37-point road loss and a 7-point home setback.
Yeah, but you can throw those scores out the window
right,
because everybody starts clean tonight, and should be a good one.
I always say it's hard to beat a team the third time. So how do you do that if you're Frostburg State?
I think you just take care of the fundamentals. You make the simple plays, take care of the basketball, share the ball, rebound, and defend.
We saw Kevin Reynolds a moment ago in his third season at Point Park. Somewhere in that huddle is Frostburg State head coach Zach Thompson. It's Frostburg State and Point Park. The number 7 seeded Bobcats, the number 10 seeded Pioneers, and we'll get the men's half of this 2025 Mountain East Conference men's basketball tournament underway in just a few moments. You're watching MEC TV.
Trying to find where you fit in the world can be challenging. But then there's a moment where it all comes together. And that moment happens at Point Park University. Career-focused programs converge with a vibrant downtown campus to prepare you for work and life. From experienced professors and internships to culture and job opportunities, you'll get the best of both worlds. Point Park University, where it all comes together.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. The Health Plan, a proud corporate partner with the Mountain East Conference.
No weekend plans? Try some of ours. From unrivaled outdoor adventure you won't find anywhere else in the world, to hometown plates and platters that pair well with the local craft beers. The happiest hours start here. Mountaineer Country. Come, go wild.
What's possible when you have the freedom to explore things that inspire you? To be a part of a community that supports and challenges you? Where can you go to find the space and time to reach your goals? Who can you become when you're able to make connections in a place where you belong? Find out what's possible at Frostburg State University.
WTRF, the Rapid Facts. Get the latest about the Ohio Valley as it's happening on air and online. Download the Storm Tracker 7 weather app for the most accurate and up-to-date forecasts. 7 News, working for you.
98.7 Country WOVK.
First thing in the morning
and last thing at night.
Where all of country music's biggest stars come to hang out. The best songs, the biggest artists.
All in one place.
WOVK, Wheeling, Steubenville.
Is not easy to surprise. We've been married for 11 years. I have not been able to surprise him one time. I coordinated with Tyler to surprise Matt with the baby reveal at Chick-fil-A.
I said, yeah, let's do this. This will be amazing.
I bought this onesie, and he's like, I got you covered.
We put it right on the tray for him.
Tyler's behind me on my right, filming the whole thing.
Wait, no.
Oh my gosh, I was so surprised.
Mama Nugget.
And Papa Nugget.
That is awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the starting lineups. First off, for the Pioneers, of Point Park University. In the guard position as a 6th receiver, number 2, Nathaniel Ed. In the guard position as a 6'5" shooter, number 11, Aiden Anderson. In the guard position as a 6'4" sophomore, number 12, Nick Marshall. In the guard position is a 6'1" junior, number 24, Herndon Williams. And in the center position is a 6'10" senior, number 13, Nazareth Fisher. The Pioneers are first by head coach Mr. Kevin Reynolds. Let's introduce the Bobcats of Frostburg State University. In the guard position is a 6'1" senior, number 5, Jason Freeman. In the guard position is a 6'2" junior, number 9, Jaden Baker. In the guard position is a 6'7" graduate, number 32, Maris Hunter. In the forward position is a 6'6" senior, number 1, Cody Baptiste. And in the forward position is a 6'5" junior, number 2, Chase Logan. The Bobcats are first by head coach Mr. Zach Thompson.
It's the 7-10 matchup in the 2025 Mountain East Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. Point Park at 10-18 and Frostburg State at 12-16. In-building introductions have just taken place. Both teams getting final instructions in their huddles, and we are set to go with some basketball momentarily. Eric Little, EJ Shatinsky courtside here at West Banco Arena in Wheeling. This is the moment you've been building for all season long.
Yeah, it really is. You know, this is a long season. They start way back in the fall of the year, and, 5 months later, here it is, win or go home.
Nazareth Fisher, the big man for Point Park, jumping the opening tip against Frostburg State's Kobe Baptiste. Point Park in the dark uniforms, Frostburg State in the white uniforms. Tip is won by Frostburg State, and away we go. Chase Whippen weighs his options. Gives it up. There's Jaden Baker off the dribble. Explosive speed. Jaden Baker almost sat on the rim and dropped, but it didn't.
Yeah, I like the way Jaden took it right at the shot blocker right there, but not able to finish.
One and done for Frostburg State, their first trip. We get a look at Point Park and their offense. Nathaniel Fan dropped 20 points first time these teams played this year. Off the dribble, Aiden Anderson gives it up. In the corner, a 3 from Nick Marshall puts Point Park on the board early on. '24th triple of the year for Marshall. A drive from Whippen, he stopped. I think that's going to be the theme of the day, driving to Nazareth Fisher and then stopping.
That's always a good idea.
Baptiste takes a run at it, swatted away and out of bounds. Nazareth Fisher, 6'10", senior out of Washington, D.C. Coming off a career-high 35 points against Salem on Saturday in his last outing. He's got 20 rebounds in a game twice this year. Did it in back-to-back games.
And he's not the tallest guy on the court there for Point Park. Of course, not on the court right now, but they've got a guy 7'2".
Yeah, Jags Jawar, we'll see him later as Jay-Sean Freeman cans a 3. Pair of dueling triples, and we're tied in a steal. floor foul call prior to the shot attempt from Eric Sonberg.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's really impressive. Both teams hit these long-range threes to start. I wouldn't have put a nickel on that. Not in this arena.
No, this is a bit of a different shooting atmosphere than these teams are used to. A different backdrop. A hip check on Nathaniel Van.
And Van really playing sticky defense there. I mean, very aggressive and a lot of body, and I think a good call by the official.
Into the right corner, Sonberg comes outside. Baker maybe looking for a one-on-one matchup. Shoves it outside. Whippen works through contact, offline. So Frostburg early on is trying to go inside, and it's not been there, and it really hasn't been Nazareth Fisher.
No, but you're going to run into him on the way, and no, he hasn't come up with a block yet, but he kind of alters the shot just a little bit, and they're 0 for 2 against him.
That's the problem. You run against him, and it's not so much what he directly impacts, it's what he affects otherwise.
Absolutely. You know, you don't see 6'10" in this league every night.
Shot clock violation. They did not get the shot away. Aiden Anderson ran out on the basket, but they wave it off. No, you're right. 6'10", 7'2", things you don't see on this league. Matchup nightmares. If you're Point Park, is that something you really look to exploit as a 10 seed?
I think you do. You know, you try.
Whippen
you
goes
try
in.
to get it inside. Sorry about that, Eric, but yeah, you try to get inside of these guys.
Whippen goes right against Nazareth Fisher and lays it off the window. So it's 5-3 Frostburg. And a foul called inside. Eric Sonberg trying to tie up Aiden Anderson. Kevin Reynolds doesn't like the call.
No, he doesn't, but I don't think he's going to get any justice there, what he wants. But I'll tell you what, both teams, aggressive, pressurized man. Of course, at this end, Frostburg in the full court. See how it plays out.
Be surprised to see Frostburg drive at the big man Fisher the way they have early on.
You know, I think they're taking what's given to them, and of course they're getting forced into that and not able to finish yet.
Van out of a double team. Williams misses the triple in the corner. Baptiste back the other way for Frostburg. Wide open look in the corner. Whippen. Long. Ripped down by Van. Point Park hasn't scored in over 2 minutes. Frostburg up a pair early in the first half. Nathaniel Van making his 27th start at the point for Point Park this year. Off a screen. Spins in the lane. Van draws contact. Van shoots a pair.
Yeah, and Van really did a nice job there controlling his dribble. You can see right here, and he'll use the shot fake and then draw the foul.
Jay-Sean Freeman, the senior, picks up his first. So for Point Park, they come in 10th in the league in free throw shooting. Out of an 11-team league, 67% from the free throw line. Frostburg State 9th in the league at the line. Van takes a moment to tie the trunks.
Yeah, both coaches are hoping that percentage improves tonight from the foul line, and you never know. That could be the difference.
Should have tied him a little tighter as free throw left a bit short. Point Park's women lost earlier today, and they had the same issue at the free throw line. One of the lowest ranked teams in free throw shooting. Second for the Lavender shoot, Nathaniel Van. He knocks that home. Go with Lavender or Pepto-Bismol Pink?
I'm going to pass on that.
I'm coloring with my nephew a lot lately. So I've seen all the colors in the box.
I can appreciate that. I have a new granddaughter, so I can appreciate that.
You're going to know the whole set of 96 when it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Off the miss, Point Park back the other way. Handoff to Van. Kevin Reynolds sends the offense instructions from the sideline. Already at single digits on the shot clock. Marshall got to hurry. They get it to Fisher. It's deflected away. They don't even get a look. Frostburg back the other way. Cross court. Baker off the dribble. Slings it out. Trey Simmons came in the game at the last buzzer. Simmons inside. Tangled up with Nick Marshall.
Yeah, and it looked like he drew the foul there on Fisher. And the one thing that's very clear is that Frostburg is not afraid, as you can see, to attack the big guy, and this time draws the foul.
Yeah, Fisher draws the foul there. I'm looking at Marshall tangled with Whippen. Beg your pardon. So Fisher picks up the foul. Trey Simmons, a freshman out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. Rattles it home.
Those guys might have been exchanging emails or something. I don't know.
Maybe so.
Dinner plans, yeah.
Snapchat names. Maybe they're gamers. They're trying to set up Call of Duty later. Who knows?
You never know.
Got to pass time somehow. Trey Simmons nails the freebie. And Frostburg State's lead swells to 3. Anderson gets out of the double team. Van has help, doesn't take it. He goes right to the cup. Nathaniel Van ties this at 6. Excuse me, makes it 7-6.
I'll tell you what, Van's an impressive player. You know, he controls the offense, and he also sets the D for Point Park.
Christopher Meekin off the bench misses the 3. Brendan Williams hands it off to Van. Meekin knocking Fisher out of the paint. Fisher stumbling in, and they call him for a travel. The two big men collide. Fisher takes steps. We take a break. 7-6 Frostburg State over Point Park in the early going from West Banco Arena in Wheeling.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
Frostburg State, the 1-point lead on Point Park. Early going first half from West Banco Arena in Wheeling. Frostburg State 2 of 8 from the field. Point Park 2 of 3, but gotta have to be impressed by the fact that Frostburg State's managed to get 8 shots.
Yeah, they're very active, and you can see they'll run a motion offense and look to draw and dish or just attack the glass here from the perimeter. Here we go.
Drive from Jaden Baker. Offline, ripped down by Nazareth. Fisher cleaning more glass than Windex tonight.
He really is, but I'll tell you what, Jaden needs to finish that shot. He blew by the defender, and it was point-blank layup. He just strong-armed it.
Jaden Baker, all MEC first team, a guy that he's going to get his later. I feel like we're going to see him make his impact on this game at some point tonight.
And you could see his athleticism on that last drive. I mean, he probably had a thought about dunking that one as well and just laid it up too strong.
He and Kobe Baptiste leave. Not the worst idea. Maybe if your shooter isn't quite feeling it early on, unplug him early, let him get a reset.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good move. And here you see Fisher, he almost needs a reset himself, and you can see he turns it over. Too much dribbling.
Meekin scoops it up. They go to the wing, slicing the defenders. Well, there's a reset for you. Fisher sends it to the third row. Run down by Nathaniel Van.
A reset and a reject.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
That's kind of reset.
Yeah.
Frostburg also brought Zane McCarty in and Nathali Regilius at the last buzzer. And Regilius comes up with this one. Stepping into a three, it's airballed. And the big that you mentioned a moment ago replaces Nazareth Fisher. Jags Jawar, 7-2, and a Punjab India, the senior, on the floor now.
Yeah, and they're not overestimating his size. He looks every bit of a 7-footer out there.
Loose in the corner, Williams gets it ahead to Van. Keep it around the edge. They get Jawar out of the basket, or from under the basket. To the corner, catch and shoot. Offline from Anderson, rebound, Jawar. No look dish. Williams almost stopped and popped. Jawar screens for Van. Lost it, got in too deep, and he's swatted by Regilius.
When there's been a lot of contested shots on both ends. Great defense being played out there. These guys are playing to win. I like what Point Park does on the offense with the high post screen to try to get Van in there.
They leave Jawar down low this time. Comes into Brendan Williams. Slicing through. Williams off the window. Gives Point Park an 8-7 lead. Ends a scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes. And now Frostburg is going to get a look at what 7-2 is like inside under the basket. Freeman stepping back. Freeman knocks down the triple.
And that's really a tough shot right there. The defender did all he could, got a hand up, and Freeman knocked it down.
Maybe that's what you do when you got 7'2" to go against the post. You just hit from outside.
Not a bad idea.
Frostburg State by a pair and a foul into the basket. They'll get Zane McCarty, the sophomore out of George Washington High School in Charleston. Frostburg State, one of their last 7 from the field. They hold a 2-point advantage. Point Park will have a chance to tie this game if Nick Marshall can hit both of his free throws here. 70% on the season. The announcer jinx.
It is the announcer jinx, but as you mentioned earlier, both teams really struggle from the foul line, and something we'll have to keep an eye on tonight.
Meekin leaves for Frostburg State. Eric Sonberg back on. Marshall nails the free throw. So Point Park to within 1. Already 10 rebounds today for Point Park. And coming into this game, we knew that this is going to be their bread and butter. First in the rebounds, all of Division 1 or 2. And how about a steal right here? Brendan Williams, the runway was open, and he laid it in to give Point Park the 11-10 lead.
Yeah, and Brendan's been a nice compliment to Van out there. Nice guard play so far.
Offline, Trey Simmons can't connect on the 3. Yeah, this Point Park team first in rebounds a game in all of Division 1 and 2. But Frostburg, known for their steals. They get one here. Baker to the corner, wide open triple. Sonberg cans it.
And how often does that happen? A turnover leads to an open shot, leads to a three-pointer.
His team leading 57th of the season. 13-11 Frostburg State. Jawar with a tip in. We're tied at 13. Action picking up. You often see this game one of a tournament. A little slow at the start, but then things finally finding a flow.
Yeah, and you can see when Frostburg pressures, it leads to 2-on-1s, it leads to stickbacks like on that end.
And Trey Simmons knocks down a big three and a timeout for Frostburg State. They lead at 16-13. Frostburg State gets a three from Trey Simmons. Take another look at this from the edge. Frostburg State getting good looks from beyond the arc.
Yeah, they really are. They're shooting it well. It looks like they've been here before. I like this matchup. As a first time seeing these teams, I think we're going to have a good one all the way through.
Frostburg State 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. 2 of those from Ja'Shawn Freeman. And you saw Trey Simmons enter the chat a moment ago. That's just his 8th three of the season.
Well, he looked good shooting it. I would have guessed that he would have had about 3 times that many, but he's off to a good start.
Again, entering tonight, Frostburg State tied for 5th most threes in the league at 260. They're tied for 5th most, but in three-point field goal percentage, they're 11th in the league. It goes to show you they try it a lot.
Yeah, that can be a problem. You know, if you go cold and you don't have a complement to that three, you can get in the hole pretty quickly.
On a game like tonight, when you're trying to avoid 2 Point Park big men, that could be really tough, matchup-wise, if you're not hitting.
Well, for sure. And then the other thing for Frostburg is they need to put the ball in the basket to set up their press.
Yes.
And so if they're shooting poorly, that's a problem.
And defense into offense. Tipped out of bounds. We'll see Point Park inbound from in front of their bench. Marshall throws it into risky zone. Anderson able to get it out. Anderson looked like he was stumbling with 2 guys around him. I did not have confidence in the success of that inbound pass.
Yeah, it looked like a hot potato out there for a while, but Van's got it under control right now.
3 to shoot. Marshall does that. It's strong. The tip back doesn't go either. Frostburg State can grow their 3-point advantage right here. There's Jaden Baker and a floor foul on Nathaniel Van. So timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. Frostburg State has a 3-point advantage on Point Park. The 7-10 matchup in the 2025 Mountain East Conference Basketball Tournament presented by the Health Plan.
What if your bank offered new checking and savings accounts with a very low balance required, online bill pay, and debit cards issued right away?
I would like that.
What if that bank had extended hours every business day and were open on Saturdays?
That's incredible.
And if all their accounts had low fees or no fees?
That's money in the bank, the right bank.
Open your checking and savings account at Main Street Bank. You deserve a bank this good.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
He's 4.
Yeah.
Great age.
Oh,
color
yeah.
with him, all kinds of stuff. 16 to 13, Frostburg State has the lead on Point Park. Frostburg State's got 4 threes in the ball game. Team high 6 points from Ja'Shawn Freeman, 4 from Nick Marshall, 4 from Brandon Williams. That's what leads Point Park. In the corner, Trey Simmons missed on what would have been his 2nd of the night. Back the other way comes Point Park. Point Park gobbling up the rebounds as we expect, out-rebounding Frostburg State 13-4 early on. Problem is, EJ, they're not turning that into second chance points, just 4 second chance points.
Yeah, Frostburg doing a good job with their defensive scheme. They got to give up something. Watch it right here to the hoop.
Williams to the can, lays it in. Brendan Williams averaging just shy of 10 points a game. Cuts the lead down to 1. Williams feeling it. Williams knocking it down.
And he's been really impressive so far. Looks really confident out there, and they're not 19-footers. They're about 22-footers right now.
Beg your pardon. I believe I said Williams. It was Simmons. Trey Simmons hits the three. His second of the game, a freshman. Came into this game with just 7 on the season. With 9 now. Not a bad time to find your stroke. Aiden Anderson drives in traffic. Aiden Anderson off the window and in. A three-party all around. Trey Simmons hits from the left wing, the right wing, and now top of the key.
Yeah, and give Frostburg credit for finding the open man, the hot player out there. But, you know, Point Park's got to do a better job of finding that guy. He was wide open that time.
But again, if you're looking at the scout, he's not necessarily the guy you would cover up.
Yeah, but he's knocked down 1, he's knocked down 2.
Right.
You gotta find this guy.
How much more sample size do you need, right?
That's enough for me.
They get it across the timeline. Marshall to the corner. Van in and out on a triple. Thrown off the Frostburg player. And Point Park keeps it. Excuse me, they lost it. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, it went off. The Point Park player threw it off the Frostburg player, and it ricocheted and came back and hit him.
I didn't see it hit his leg. Beg your pardon. Another three. Why not? Chase Whippen gets involved, his 12th of the season. 7 threes tonight for Frostburg State. They're up 25-17. Jawar to the corner. And Brendan Williams misses. And right now, Point Park not able to match the three-point shooting of Frostburg State. Are they wise to give that up and try something else?
Yeah, Frostburg's trying to speed them up, and they'll attack the glass as a result. That time they get a putback.
We were talking about this when Nazareth Fisher was on. I believe it was off the air. They've got the size advantage inside, so go with that.
Well, and Nazareth has been on the bench for a long time right now, and I look for him to get into the game soon.
That ended a long drought for Point Park. The Jawar bucket also stopped a 6-0 Frostburg State run. 25-19. Frostburg State's hit 5 the last 7 from the field. And again, they're 7 of 13 from beyond the arc. The freshman Simmons with 3. Time melting off the shot clock. The kick to Van. Space, the drive, lost it, gets it back. Time expiring, and at the buzzer. Let you take a look at this. I'm not sure that this, from the naked eye, I didn't think he got the shot away.
It was really a close one. I think what the officials will look at is the ball still on his fingertips when the red light goes on?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you get. And they'll get a great look at this right here, and hopefully it only takes 30 seconds.
So we know where you stand on the side of instant replay in basketball.
Yeah.
You like it? It corrects things, but you want it to move along quickly.
I want it to move quick. Sometimes these things can take quite a while, but I think this will be cut and dry.
They've confirmed the call on the floor, and so the basket counts. They'll tell us. Good piece of officiating. They double-checked to make sure, and it was out of his hand.
Yeah, the main thing is to get the call right, and I'm sure they did right there.
Stolen away, Brendan Williams up with it. Point Park can make this a one-possession game for the first time in some time, shooting 47% from the field, but just 1 3 to Frostburg State's 7. Williams fires up the runner. We're in a 2-point ball game. 25-23. Point Park answers Frostburg State's 6-0 run with a 6-0 run of their own. Baker's step back three. Offline. And Anderson up with it. Getting harassed. And I believe a timeout was called here to save the possession as Anderson looked like he was close to coughing that up. 25-23, Frostburg State out in front. It's been a game of runs early on, EJ. Take a break on the floor. 5:27 to play in the first half. Frostburg State leading a game of runs, 25-23.
West Virginia's largest restoration company is now in the heart of the Mountain State. With a location in Charleston, joining our branches in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, we'll be there to help when you need it most. Our expert team and state-of-the-art equipment is ready to serve the Kanawha Valley 24 hours a day. From water damage to fire restoration, when disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Battle of contrasts from West Banco Arena in the first game of the evening session of the Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships. Frostburg State leads Point Park 25-23. Frostburg State, a team that wants to shoot the three, and they've done that well. Point Park, what do they got to do to keep a more consistent offense?
Well, I'd like to see him try to work the ball into Fisher a little bit. You know, he's a stat stuffer for them, but right now he's scoreless.
You're saying this in the break. You got to like where you're setting for Point Park. Nazareth Fisher has 2 rebounds, no points, and you're down 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And here he's going to come up for a high post screen, I believe. And then they'll try to get him the ball on the roll.
There it is. Williams shoots at the buzzer, and he knocks it down to tie the game at 25.
And that really looks to be the game plan for Kevin Reynolds, is to milk the shot clock, get a high post screen, and make something happen.
And it goes back to Point Park. One of the officials came to the scores table, and I believe he said that was a 2, but they've got 3 on the board. Now they fixed it, 25 all.
Yeah, it looked like, you know, there's 3 lines on this court, and so that can be confusing for the officials, but I think his foot was on the line.
At least one of them.
Yes.
Point Park on an 8-0 run.
And here we go. They're going to milk this shot clock and bring Fisher up for a high post screen and try to make something happen.
Eventually, they're going to roll into him. They've been taking that shot. There's the foul. Kind of like you see in football in a run-pass option. When you show that, when you show that run, so many times it opens up the pass. Well, when they bring Fisher up like that, eventually you're going to go into him and open that up.
Yeah, you know, the guards are doing a great job of getting to the basket. Eventually the defense is going to slide over, and then you hit Fisher to get him going.
Tie ball game. The 8-0 run becomes a 9-0 run on the Brendan Williams free throw. Puts Williams in double figures with 10. Trey Simmons leads Frostburg State with 11. And Williams equals him at 11. 27-25. The run swells to 9-0. The hot shooter strikes again. Trey Simmons with his 4th triple of the ball game.
And if you're a Bobcat fan, you got to be thanking your lucky stars for Trey Simmons tonight.
Does he know there's ice under this floor? He's about to melt it. Home of the Wheeling Nailers. Trey Simmons may make that ice a little slushy next time they try to play.
Yeah, for sure. And Fisher did not check him out there. I think hopefully he's learned his lesson.
Marshall open for the triple and hits it. Only the second three of the game for Point Park. They grab a 30-28 lead on that three. Marshall, can it be 5? Sure can. Fifth three of the first half for Trey Marshall.
Yeah, and Point Park's got to switch that up. You know, Fisher's not comfortable guarding out there from 20 feet. They got to put a perimeter player on him.
You'd think I'd get his name right. That's Trey Simmons. I think I've said two different things instead of Simmons at different points tonight. My apologies to the Simmons family out there. You hit enough threes like that, you think you get the right one.
Well, you know, you just got to keep making them. Eventually, you're going to get this thing going.
I had Marshall in my head from the other end of the floor, and Simmons nails that one. 31-30, Frostburg State. 5 threes from Trey Simmons. If you didn't know his name, you do now. And I think Kevin Reynolds, it's one of the questions they're going to have to ask themselves at halftime. Hey, we need to account for this guy.
Absolutely, they do.
Williams stops and pops. In and out. Frostburg back in transition. Here's Sonberg. Short. Fisher pulls it down. A lot of these Point Park folks were here earlier today. Their matchup at noon. The women's team in the crowd. The cheerleaders were here for this one. Some of these folks have seen a couple games today. Shot clock at 7. Van drives. The left-hand runner falls for Nathaniel Van, and Point Park grabs a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, and Van's a really good player for them. He's got to be careful right now. 2 minutes left in the half. He's got 2 fouls. They need him out there to start the second half.
Simmons drives. It's in and out. It's an excellent point. It's been a very physical game, though.
It really has, and you can see the strategy from Point Park over and over. They want to take the air out of it, keep it up here toward half court, milk the shot clock to about 10, get a high post screen.
Van stepping back. Off the iron. Ripped down by Jaden Baker, a guy we really haven't seen get it going yet. Looking for his first points. He won't get him there, but it goes to the line. And Nazareth Fisher comes up a little gimpy.
Yeah, and I like the way Baker uses his body right here as he goes to the basket, draws the foul, and he'll get rewarded with 2 shots.
Fisher took that pop right in the ribs. Didn't look like to be a leg issue he was stretching out when he sat down. Fisher takes the contact and the foul with it. Free throw in and out from Baker, so he won't score here either. 19.2 points a game from Baker, second leading scorer in the Mountain East Conference. And give Point Park credit, they've held him without a point in this game. He won't get one here. Pair of misses. Luckily for Frostburg State, the freshman Trey Simmons has 5 threes in this first half and 17 points.
Wow, and who would have thought, before the game that Fisher would be scoreless, Baker hasn't scored yet. They're the two stat producers, and we've got a good one as a result.
And Nazareth Fisher, no points. Baker with no points. But like what you always see in the tournament time, somebody steps up. It's been Brendan Williams for Point Park with 12 points and those 17 from Trey Simmons.
Yeah.
Always get new stars in tournament time.
Simmons has been outstanding, but Point Park has to do a better job of marking that guy. He's getting too many open looks.
Final minute of the half. Point Park looks to grow a 1-point advantage. They're 6 of their last 8 from the field. Van drives through contact, doesn't go. Fisher tipped it out. And it was back to Frostburg State.
You can see Van takes advantage of those switches out there against him. And, he knows he can go against the the forwards of Frostburg State and get all the way to the basket like he did right there.
Frostburg State looking for the first points in nearly 3 minutes. Trail it by 1. The saving grace has been the three-pointer. 9 tonight for Frostburg State. They go at 10. Baker, Simmons wide open. Wide left. Ripped down by Baptiste outside. Baker doesn't hit there either. Can Point Park get a rebuttal? Warner finds Williams at the buzzer. Brendan Williams with the pose. Point Park with all the swagger and momentum. The 10 seed has a halftime lead on a Brendan Williams triple.
Yeah, and I like the gooseneck at the end there. He really exaggerated it.
When you're a lower seed in a tournament setting in a win or go home, you got to play that up, and you got to use every bit of juice to your advantage. And how about that first half for Point Park? 35 points, none from your big man and none from Caden Warner, your second leading scorer.
Yeah, Point Park did a great job of controlling the tempo for the most part. They like to run that high post screen late in the possession, and they're getting good looks.
Now check that. Warner's the leading scorer. Fisher, the second leading scorer. 2 guys in double figures. None of them have any of the points, and they're leading the 7 seed by 4 at the half.
Yeah, they've got to like their chances here. But again, Frostburg's leading scorer hasn't really done much either.
The officials took a look at it just to make sure, and the 3 counts. It's 35-31 at the half from West Banco Arena in Wheeling. It's the 2025 Mountain East Conference Tournament presented by the Health Plan on MEC TV.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The Health Plan, here for you.
Launch your healthcare career at West Liberty University. We offer health science degrees in programs like nursing, dental hygiene, speech pathology and audiology, medical lab science, pre-medicine, psychology, biomedical science, or the physician assistant program. Our faculty have the experience to prepare you for a rewarding future. There's never been a better time to prepare for a healthcare career, and there's no better place than West Liberty University. Find out more at westliberty.edu/healthcareers.
At the half, Point Park leads Frostburg State 35-31. Eric Little, EJ Shadzinski here from the West Banco Arena in downtown Wheeling, West Virginia. Some numbers on this halftime stats graphic really jump off. 9 of Frostburg's 10 field goals are threes.
Yeah, and they're still down 4 points.
Yeah, and 5 of those threes are from a freshman who hit 7 the entire rest of the year beforehand.
Yeah, and how great has he been? You know, he's finding a way to get open.
Yeah.
There's mismatch problems, and he's knocking them down.
Talking about Trey Simmons, the freshman who leads Frostburg State with 17 points. Bobcats in a scoring drought. They haven't scored in 3.5 minutes. 0 of their last 4. Big reason why they trail at the half. Point Park with a ton of confidence, turning those 23 rebounds into points.
Yeah, this is really an amazing stat sheet if you look at it. You know,
Yeah.
the one team is making 9 3-pointers. The other one's out rebounding them 23-8, and it results in a 4-point lead here for Point Park.
They've hit 52% of their shots from the field. And again, the thing that gets me about this game, Point Park has 2 guys that average double figures. Neither one of them have scored. Caden Warner and Nazareth Fisher a combined 0 points for Point Park. Frostburg State's got Kobe Baptiste, honorable mention All-Mountain East Conference this year, and Jaden Baker, All-MEC first team. Those guys, 0 points.
Yeah, and what that tells me is that washes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your top 4 scorers, both guys out of the way.
They wash each other out. We've got a good game here, and really, you know, I got to believe whichever duo, you know, steps up in the second half, their team's going to have a great chance to win.
Absolutely. Simmons, the freshman we talked about earlier, he is one of the 4 guys in this game, the others being Nazareth Fisher, Caden Warner, and Jaden Baker. Those 4 guys, along with Simmons, have put together 10 of the 26 30-plus point games in the league this season. 26 different games, somebody has scored 30 points or more. 10 of them have been produced by guys in this game.
Yeah.
And of the guys on that list, Simmons is the only one that's got points.
Well, something's going to change in the second half for sure. And you know, I think if you're in there at halftime, if you're Frostburg State, I think you have to make an adjustment on your half-court defense. I would not let Point Park milk the shot clock out here.
Yeah.
Control the tempo, and, you know, see what happens is then they're going to get a good shot. They don't turn it over, which Frostburg really needs to succeed here tonight.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to ask you is if you're in both of these locker rooms, what are you telling your guys at the half? How are you looking at the stat sheet we just saw, and how are you looking at some of these individual numbers and kind of figuring out what to do with it?
Yeah, the game's all about tempo.
Yeah, some trends you didn't expect.
Yeah, it's about tempo, and so Frostburg really, the impetus is on them. They've got to speed up Point Park in the half court.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I think we're in for a 40-minute game.
Yeah. Point Park, the number 10 seed, 10-18 this year. They have lost 10 straight games, 13 of the last 14, not at all playing like a team that's lost 10 straight, 13 of the last 14. Frostburg State, though, they've lost 8 of their last 11, so one of those something's got to give kind of matchups, and right now it's the superior three-point shooting of Frostburg State. 9 threes, and it's not enough. Point Park, 35, Frostburg State, 31. A dribbling exhibition at the half and during the game.
Yeah, this is a group from Marshall County. They're known around the region for their dribbling skills, and I'm not sure what they have up their sleeve here, but I saw them practicing as I came in tonight, and it looks like they're having fun out there.
We'll let you watch this as we go to break. Point Park has a 35-31 lead on Frostburg State. More to come at the half from Westbanco Arena in Wheeling on MEC TV.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd. Your franchise doesn't win big games. Kyrie and Steph cancel each other out. Our show doesn't sound like anything else on the dial. It attracts smarter fans, and it makes for a livelier show. LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. I'm your favorite fan. You're very talented. You're the best.
Take me there. Why?
The home of The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Fox Sports Wheeling, 1400 AM and 103.9 FM.
At Omni, we believe that every client deserves a design solution that reflects their individual style and needs. With a focus on innovative and creative designs while being mindful of your budget, we are committed to bringing your project to reality. Contact us today and let's get started to create your one-of-a-kind project. Omni Architects. For over 40 years, creating design solutions that are as unique as our clients.
WTRF, the Rapid Facts. Get the latest about the Ohio Valley as it's happening on air and online. Download the Storm Tracker 7 weather app for the most accurate and up-to-date forecasts. 7 News, working for you.
My husband is not easy to surprise. We've been married for 11 years. I have not been able to surprise him one time. I coordinated with Tyler to surprise Matt with the baby reveal at Chick-fil-A.
I said, yeah, let's do this. This will be amazing.
I bought this onesie, and he's like, I got you covered.
We put it right on the tray for him.
Tyler's behind me on my right, filming the whole thing.
Wait, no.
Oh my gosh, I was so surprised.
Mama Nugget.
And Papa Nugget.
That is awesome.
4-point advantage for Point Park over Frostburg State at the half, as the fans here at West Banco Arena delighted by the Marshall County dribble team. So Point Park with that 4-point lead. EJ, I'll ask you this. Who is one guy that you pick on either team to step up in the second half?
For Frostburg State, I think it's got to be Jaden Baker. He's their first team all-conference player. He hasn't scored yet tonight, but he's played a good all-around game. But they're going to need him to make double figures to have a good chance to win, and I think he's got a great chance to do it. And then for Point Park, I've been impressed with their point guard. Let me see if I can find him here. Oh, Nathaniel Van, number 2. I like the way he controls the offense and he gets to the basket, and I think he's got a good chance to score some points.
Yeah, the first highlight you saw in that reel was Jaden Baker dishing an assist. And you got to like that out of a guy. No points, 9 assists tonight. I didn't mention that earlier. Baker is the team leader in the category. You got to love a guy who, even though he's not filling the cup, he manages to facilitate other people.
You really do. And he's able to find, it's not like they're 2-on-1 dishes, but he's finding the open three-point shooter.
Yeah.
And as a result, these guys are knocking down a great percentage.
Here he is dishing it again. Another one of those assists. So Jaden Baker with 9 assists, all 9 of Frostburg State's assists. And to get back to your point on Nathaniel Van, a lot of times that point guard facilitates the offense, but you got to love a point guard that can create his own off the dribble.
Yeah, and certainly Kevin Reynolds, the coach for Point Park, is all about setting that up for Van, and he's getting his chances, and he's doing a good job so far.
Absolutely. Nathaniel Van hit from the field once, only 3 points, but he's a guy that can fill the cup in bunches when he really gets going. Who needs to get going the most out of any of these guys? I mean, because we got 4 guys, the 2 leading scorers for each team. Not a one of them have scored. My pick would be Nazareth Fisher. They got to feed Fisher. Who do you like?
You know, I've heard about all the points and the rebounds that he scored, and he's had some great games.
Yeah.
They really haven't made it a priority to get him the ball in the block. They keep running him up to the top of the key to set the screen, and I can't remember one time where they've hit him off the roll yet.
Yeah.
And so he's only able to get his chances right now off the rebound.
They're showing that look a ton. They've gone to him off the block, not just high, but off the block along the baseline. But you're right, they got to go and make a concerted effort to get it inside.
Yeah, I'd like to see him one time go down, feed it to him in the block, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah, run straight forward. We'll see what happens. Point Park has a 4-point advantage, 35-31, in the Mountain East Conference Tournament, presented by the Health Plan. You're watching on MEC TV. Hey, Brian, did you notice that they stopped the clock at 5? 5 minutes. Yeah, that's why we had to stretch so long in that segment. Yeah, the dribble team. Yeah. I looked up and realized, oh, shoot, the clock's not moving. So I remember you said, well, we had 3 minutes to fill, and I thought, okay, this will be easy. I'll ask him for one thing, and then boom, we're in and out. Bingo, bango, done. You know, but yeah. Well, no, I don't know if it was then or it was right when we came back. One or the other. I didn't notice it first either. Yeah. Hey, guys, we're going to need just a few extra seconds coming out of break. You tell me when you're ready, we'll roll. Okay. Yep, no problem. Appreciate the explanations. Y'all are doing a fantastic job. Oh, thank you. And the tie and pocket score combo. You like that? That's a hit. The purple and goes with the gray. I got to find something. I did 2 games today. I got to find something that's no team color from anybody. There you go. That's right. That was number 1 priority going into the closet. Like, like, who do I got? What's out? Have a nice forest green tie that I could definitely wear today. Hey, we're golden. Brian, we're golden. We're good. Yeah. Okay. She's going to blow the horn when we're ready. She's going to blow the horn when we're ready. So the clock's going to... First horn will be when the clock hits 0, and the second will be when we're good. Okay, cool. Thanks. That's clutch, in and out. And I wasn't trying to stretch it there, but they stopped the clock at 5 with the dribblers. Because you said Frostburg State, I think, is ready to... They stopped the clock to give them 5 full minutes.
I got you.
So... It took me a second to notice that, so that's why we had to stretch so long in that segment.
Oh, that's okay. I wouldn't have liked that if I was a coach.
4-point lead at the half for Point Park. Second half about to begin. Eric Little, E.J. Shudzinski, courtside from West Banco Arena in beautiful downtown Wheeling, right along the Ohio River. Mountain East Conference Championship has called this their home for the last several years. Brendan Williams, the hot scorer in the first half, doesn't get it going. Fisher rebounds it, and a foul or a tie-up called. And Frostburg State gets it back. Is that a quick whistle?
You know what? I think it was a nice battle underneath, but I like the way Fisher aggressively went to the rebound that time. That's really the first time tonight.
And we didn't see that a lot out of him in the first half. No points out of Nazareth Fisher. Chase Whippen on the wing. Sonberg kicks it around to Baker, who also has not scored in this contest. Inside 10, Baptiste the drive. Baptiste contested at the rim and scores through contact with Nazareth Fisher.
Wow, there was no fear right there. Took it strong into the lane and drew the contact and finished it here. Take a look at this one.
And EJ, this is a third on Fisher. So right away, if Point Park's plan was to try to get it into him, that's throwing a giant whammy into that.
Yeah, you know, Coach Reynolds is going to have to be careful here. I still leave him in the game and try to get as many minutes as you can out of him right here.
Coach Reynolds agrees with you. Off the three-point play, it's 35-34. Lead trimmed down to 1. And a steal, Baptiste lost it. Scooped up, Aiden Anderson. Point Park, the 10, trying to pull the upset over a Frostburg State team that beat them twice in the regular season.
Yeah, and if I'm Frostburg, I do not let Van just hold the ball out here for 10 seconds. I got to get him to move the ball, pick up the pace.
Shot clock at 5. Van drives, floater left hand strong. The putback goes. Brendan Williams with a follow.
And Brendan's been impressive tonight as well. You know, I actually like the Point Park guards. They do a nice job for a 10 seed.
10 threes tonight from Frostburg State. Chase Whippen with his second of the night and a timeout. We are tied at 37 early in the second half on MEC TV.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
For over 4 decades, the health plan has called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community, the health plan. Here for you.
WTRF, the reliable forecast. From sunshine to severe weather, the Storm Tracker 7 meteorologists know what's happening in your neighborhood. From Steubenville to Moundsville, Wellsburg to St. Clairsville, 7 News, working for you.
All square, 37 apiece, Frostburg State and Point Park. The Bobcats have nailed 10 threes. Chase Whippen, the most recent. He's got 2. Freshman Trey Simmons has 7. Or had 7 all season coming into this. He's got 5 tonight. Simmons tips it loose. Jaden Baker, the leading scorer on this team who hasn't scored tonight, finds Jay-Sean Freeman, the runner, in and out. Nazareth Fisher playing with 3 fouls. Almost picked up a 4th back in transition.
Yeah, you got to be careful out there. And if I were Frostburg, I would not let Van control the tempo here. Come on and get a double on him. You got to pick up the pace if you're Frostburg.
Have we appropriately recapped how zany this game has been based on the trends we were expecting?
Absolutely. You never know what you're going to get.
Drive from Van. And that's EJ's pick to click this half. Nathaniel Van gives Point Park a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, and Coach Reynolds will let him do that every single time down the court if Frostburg lets him.
Baker slips it to Whippen. Chase Whippen, the heat check, in and out. Tie up, and Point Park has the arrow. Point Park wanted possession without the arrow because they thought they'd rip that away.
Well, they've got the arrow, but this is where Frostburg has been most effective. They want to set up their pressure right here. Let's see how Point Park handles it.
Aiden Anderson had a big first half. Not in the scoring column, 2 points, but 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Facilitating this Point Park offense.
You know, I almost feel like we can take a breather right here every time, Eric. You know, Van's going to dribble around. About 10 seconds, he's going to make a move.
Well, he pops the 3 and hits. Nathaniel Van from deep. First triple of the ball game. Point Park showing the no one-trick pony on the other end. The layup pulls Frostburg back to within a triple.
And Simmons shows everybody, hey, I can do more than just shoot threes.
Everybody's showing the full range of their abilities. Kobe Baptiste picks up the foul. We saw Simmons drive in the first half. He wasn't successful on that drive. But again, for a guy that's hit 5 threes, big to prove that that's not all you're going to do.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. Been the best player on the floor so far tonight.
I would agree. Just a freshman, a lot to like about him. A collision between Van and Whippen. Whippen picks up the foul.
Whippen gets the foul, but you can see where Point Park has trouble against that pressure. You know, and if Frostburg's able to string a couple baskets, you can see where they could get a run here.
Point Park, 3 of their last 3 from the field. Looking to grow a 3-point advantage early second half. Off the screen from Fisher. Skips it right wing. Anderson all by his lonesome. In and out. You had to take that one. Kevin Reynolds screaming, wait, wait, wait from the sideline. You know he wants that pace slowed down.
Yeah, he'll take this shot clock down to 4 or 5 seconds before he gets a good one here. That's his best strategy to win.
Anderson was in his own county. Inside 6. Williams looks to draw contact. Gives it up. There's Van. Stop and pop. Airballed it. So Frostburg State gets it back, and a 3 ties it here for a team that's nailed 10 of them in this ball game.
Yeah, and I got the sense that they're going to have to get toward 15 if they're going to win this game, because, you know, Point Park has just such an advantage right now in tempo and also inside with the rebounding.
Whippen offline. 10 of Frostburg's 13 made field goals are from beyond the arc. Just 3 that aren't. Here's Nazareth Fisher. The runway is clear. He lays it in. I don't think he had a handle on that one. The folks here wanted him to throw it down. He doesn't do it. It's 44-39.
No, but he needed that one right there. You know, he's been a goose egg so far, and maybe that'll get him going.
First points of the game for Nazareth Fisher. Business picking up. Whippen from deep. And he's cooled off significantly. Van out of the double team. Point Park, can they stretch the 5-point lead? Nice find. Anderson at the rack, strong. And a foul puts him at the line. And one of the rare times that Point Park does not hold back. They draw the contact, and free throws coming after the break from Aiden Anderson. Point Park looking to pull the upset and beat a team that beat them twice in the regular season. Pioneers by 5 here in Wheeling.
For over 4 decades, the health plan is called West Virginia Home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. Proudly serving West Virginia since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community, the health plan. Here for you.
At Omni, we believe that every client deserves a design solution that reflects their individual style and needs. With a focus on innovative and creative designs while being mindful of your budget, we are committed to bringing your project to reality. Contact us today and let's get started to create your one-of-a-kind project. Omni Architects. For over 40 years, creating design solutions that are as unique as our clients.
Point Park looking to pull the upset here as the 10 seed in Wheeling and play on for a matchup against Fairmont State on Friday afternoon. 5-point lead for Point Park, looking to stretch that with Aiden Anderson at the line, an 82% shooter on the season. That's the announcer jinx.
Well, I was going to say it's always hard to make these foul shots coming out of a timeout.
Ice cold.
Yeah, and one of these media timeouts, it's tough.
Gets the back one to go. Leads at 6 for Point Park. 10 of Frostburg State's 13 field goals are threes, now 10 of 11, or 10 of 14. Trey Simmons with 21 points. Drives to the basket. Van back in transition.
Simmons has been outstanding, and I love the way he takes it right at Fisher. Here comes a trap.
They come out and trap. Williams pull-up jumper. He can hit that too.
It didn't work that time, but you can't let him stand out there and dictate the, dictate the tempo. You got to make him pick it up.
You've been waiting for him to do that for at least half the game. Off the back leg, Freeman short. Point Park has controlled the pace throughout. Kevin Reynolds says stay there. We'll see if Freeman comes out to defend the ball. Now the double team. Van slips it away. Marshall, mid-range jumper. Anderson has it pop in and out. Baptiste out of control. Bailed out with a foul. And if this is Nazareth Fisher, that's his fourth. No, it's Nick Marshall.
But I like the adjustment that Coach Thompson has made recently for Frostburg. Don't let these guys hold the ball out toward half court. You can't let them dictate the play, or they're going to be successful. Make them give it up and have some other guys try to put it in the basket.
Off the miss, Fisher grabs the loose ball. Back in transition, a 2-on-1 for Point Park. Right to the cup. Aiden Anderson scores the basket.
Yeah, nice strong move right there by Anderson.
Simmons, another three. Offline with that one. Hasn't hit a three since the first half. He's gone straight to the basket in more recent minutes. Ball loose, they fight for it. Here comes Marshall. Lob under the basket and the throwdown from Fisher.
How about that one right there?
That is an attention grabber. Biggest lead of the game for Point Park at 9 points. And a whistle. And a foul. Aiden Anderson picks this up.
Yeah, and you see Marshall right here with the alley-oop and the dunk. I would say right now that Point Park is very opportunistic. They don't want to run, but if they're forced into a 3-on-2, they're going to take advantage.
Blake Burrows kicks it out. Simmons misses the three. Fisher scoops it up. Harassment under the basket. Ball loose. And the arrows with Frostburg State.
On the playground, we used to say, no blood, no foul. And they're definitely letting the guys play out there.
We see Zane McCarty into this game for Frostburg for the first time this half. Blake Burrows, the redshirt freshman out of Edgewater, Maryland, in for the first time all game. So some fresh bodies out there for Zach Thompson.
And that tells me you're going to see lots of pressure here as he'll try to start rotating guys in and out.
Deflects off of Van. Into the backcourt, Baker runs it down. And you're right, the ball pressure just hadn't been there for Frostburg State. They're starting to dial that up. And a whistle. Another foul on Aiden Anderson. Do you like how they're bringing that ball pressure? It's not the guy that looks to be the on-ball defender. They're bringing someone up to double him up, and that's the on-ball.
Yeah, I think you got to. When Point Park gets possession, you got to double team the ball handler. Right now, Point Park will just play solid D.
Foul on Williams. Brennan Williams has been so good on the offensive end, picks up his first foul. 19 points for Point Park's Brendan Williams. That's a team high. 21 for Frostburg State's Trey Simmons.
Yeah, and the thing that I noticed recently is the officials are starting to tighten things up out there. They're calling the fouls right now on the ball handler.
Baker drives. Couldn't get that one to fall off the window. Yeah, that whistle has gotten a good bit tighter here in the last 5 minutes of game time.
It has. I think it started on that one loose ball underneath the basket there. It seemed like, they could have grabbed a foul there, but ended up being a held ball. And I don't think they want to let this game get away from them in any way here, and I'm sure they won't. They've done a great job so far.
Point Park has held on to the lead throughout the second half, 4 of their last 5 from the field. And Frostburg State's not helped themselves at the line. Jaden Baker is 68% free throw shooter. Frostburg State needs a spark.
They really do, and they've got the quickness to do it here. They'll set their press up, and they really need some quick baskets, a turnover and a score.
Double team in the backcourt. Anderson looking to get out of it. Frostburg saves it right back to Williams. Williams stripped. Baker and Williams scrap for it. And Point Park's got the arrow on a hell ball, but the Frostburg State fans like the scrap.
I love it here too as a spectator, somebody who's lucky to be here. I love to see guys hustling all over the floor.
Shot clock resets to 30. Floor all mopped up and we're ready to go. Into Anderson. Slips it ahead. Williams finds Van. The 8-point lead for Point Park, their biggest of the game. They could grow it to double figures for the first time with a bucket here. Anderson for three. In and out. Burrows rips it down. Sonberg with a quick release. Eric Sonberg hits Frostburg State's 11th three of the ball game. They'd gone over 2.5 minutes without one from the field, and Frostburg knocks down a huge momentum three.
Yeah, and a nice kick up the floor, and I like the way he stepped into that one.
Sonberg feeling it. And a timeout with Point Park leading by 5, 11:42 to play in the second half. How bad did Frostburg State need any kind of spark?
Yeah, you know, it seems like they're, far away, but they're really not. They're down 5 right now. They haven't played their best. They've let Point Park control the tempo too much, but there's plenty of time for them to come back here.
This team that averages over 81 points a game, being held to 46.
Well, and they're being held to 46, plus they've made, over 10 3-pointers. So you would expect them to have a higher point total, but it's all because of the limited number of possessions because Point Park's holding the ball.
Look at the scene from West Banco Arena in Wheeling. First of 2 tonight in the Mountain East Men's Basketball Tournament. Davis and Elkins and Wheeling waiting to do battle after this one. A steal. Burrows can't get it to drop. They scrap for it. Thrown away. Fisher gets it. Point Park looking to grow their lead once again, and a foul back in transition on Zane McCarty.
Yeah, and Coach Thompson, he'll deal with that foul. He loves the aggressiveness of McCarty, and what he wants right now is turnovers.
No doubt. 11 Point Park turnovers, just 4 for Frostburg. Williams in the front court. Van. Snug defense from Kobe Baptiste. Swatted away from Anderson. Sonberg up with it. Baptiste into the front court. Will Frostburg try for a 12-3? Burrows adds another to the ledger. A dozen for Frostburg State, and it's a 2-point ball game. And a timeout for Point Park. The lead was up to 9 just a moment ago. Point Park had a chance to take that to double figures, but Frostburg State with a 7-0 run in just 89 seconds of game time.
Yeah, and we could talk all night about the threes, but it's really keyed by the D. They turn them over, they get a shot, and then the fun part is you get to go right back and press again.
Yeah. 12 turnovers for Point Park. 14 points off turnovers for Frostburg State.
Yeah, and you can see that Coach Thompson has committed now to the pressure. I mean, he was always there in the backcourt, but now the pressure is in the front court as well. And Point Park has to change their strategy now.
I was going to ask you, what adjustment does Kevin Reynolds make to counter that pressure?
Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold the ball, so he's going to have to attack the 4-on-3s, 3-on-2s, maybe make the extra pass and get some good looks here.
And I think when you're a 10 seed, comes in at 10-18, they've lost 10 in a row, and you're playing a team that's beat you twice, I think you're trying to shorten the game, and I think it's a smart decision to do so. So now we're there. Now if you're Point Park, you got to play them straight up.
You really do. The number of possessions are going to increase right now because of this pressure.
A lot of physicality. Anderson tripled up through two guys. Fisher brings it down. Van in the corner. Shot clock in single digits. Point Park's lead down to 2. Van from deep. Strong, and Frostburg State can tie it here. They're on a 7-0 run. Baptiste. Baker. Turning against Fisher. Changing directions and stripped, and it's Frostburg State's.
Yeah, and you just get the feeling the old Mo has changed directions right here. Frostburg playing with more confidence. They're flying around the court and see if they can get a good one here.
Sonberg from the corner. In and out. Van rips it off the iron. Tie up, and Frostburg State gets another look. Jaden Baker with 1 point today, second leading scorer in the Mountain East Conference. Point Park hasn't hit from the field in some time. Over 3 minutes, in fact. Burrows hit from there a moment ago. McCarty running baseline. They swing it inside. There's a look for Baker, and we're tied. A 9-0 Frostburg State run erases the Point Park advantage halfway through the second half. Van's pass deflected. It gets to Williams. Fisher all by his lonesome. And Point Park reclaims the lead on a Fisher lay-in. (53-51). Fisher scores off the window. This should be a fun back half of the second half from Westbanco Arena. 53-51. Point Park on top of Frostburg State. The back half of the second half after this on MEC TV. Point Park leads at 53-51. Frostburg's back into the game on a 9-2 run. 4 turnovers for Point Park in the last 3.5 minutes. Some energy off the Frostburg State bench, EJ.
Yeah, there really has been. I like the way McCarty's played and Burrows. You know, they're coming up with loose balls, and the last time Burrows made a nice assist to get Jaden Baker going.
Baker, can he assist on Burrows? In and out, ripped down by Fisher. They're moving the ball a lot better with some of these subs. The energy's just there, and sometimes that's all you need, a change of energy.
Well, yeah, and they're going to attack here on defense, which is what they need to do.
Marshall looks for options. Finds one in Van. Nathaniel Van, 12 points. Point Park led by the game-high 19, with a team-high 19 from Williams. He makes it 22. Another three from Brennan Williams. That's his second of the night. Point Park's lead back up to 5.
Yeah, really big-time step up there for Williams. They needed it.
Only their 4th triple of the ball game. Baker off the window, heating up. Good time for it. Jaden Baker makes it a 3-point ball game. He's got 5 tonight. Second leading scorer in the Mountain East Conference. Marshall holds. We'll see if Frostburg comes back with the ball pressure. There's your double team. To the middle and Anderson. There's Fisher, stripped on the way up. And he'll shoot.
Yeah, it was a nice weak side hustle here, but he got a piece of Fisher here on the way up, right through the arm.
It's Jaden Baker.
And I like the officiating because the lead official couldn't see that. But the center over here grabbed it. He could see the grab.
He deferred, too. He was looking for the help. Like officials in all sports, when they can't see something, rather than making an assumption, getting that help. That's good teamwork out of those three.
Yeah, each of these guys only has 2 friends out here tonight.
Yeah.
And so they want to make eye contact as much as they can to get it right.
They've been friendly with you and I, EJ, so those 2 plus us.
I forgot about that. They have been.
Fisher rips it off the iron. Can Point Park add to their 4-point advantage? Rebound number 8 for Nazareth Fisher. Team high 9 rebounds for Nathaniel Van. On offense now, Van lost it out of bounds, and Frostburg State will have a chance to make this a 1-possession game once more.
Yeah, Van's kind of kicking himself right there. He beat the defender. He just lost control getting into the lane.
Speaking of stat sheet, how about Jaden Baker, 12 assists. Burrows off the glass. Back the other way. Here's Nick Marshall. Slips it ahead, Anderson. Don't often see guys get to double-doubles through assists, but Baker, I could see him going off for a flurry of points and getting the points up there too.
Easily.
Van dribbles circles around everybody. A rejection from Fisher rejected. Shot clock didn't reset, so it expires, and Frostburg takes it back.
We got a good one here tonight.
Well, Van looked like he was taking cues. A technical foul, I believe, on Frostburg. We're told it's a double technical. We'll see what they say at the scores table.
I'm not sure exactly. I think we have a player from each team kind of jawing each other, I think. That's my guess.
Kobe Baptiste was the player I heard on Frostburg State. They're reviewing the shot clock to see whether or not that shot clock reset. Whole lot to sort out here from West Banco Arena. 7:02 to play in this one. I heard Baptiste's name called, and we're told the other one is on Nick Marshall. So Baptiste for Frostburg State and Nick Marshall on Point Park. So no shots. Those are offsetting technicals.
Yeah, and
after the play extracurriculars.
Yeah, I can see where those guys would have got tangled up at the end of that play. You know, it was kind of frenzy for the ball. Everybody's going toward it. We've got a whistle.
Yeah.
30-second violation, and guys probably said something.
It's an elimination game. Someone's season comes to an end. Point Park has led for much of this second half, and they've really controlled the tempo in this ball game.
Yeah,
Frostburg State's doing some things on defense differently in the second half, but still by and large, it's been Point Park.
Yeah, it's really a great game. You know, You know, folks, if you're tuning in around the Wheeling area, you ought to come down and check out this action because this is a 7 and a 10 seed. And I'll tell you what, it's a really good basketball game we're watching here tonight.
So the call is there's dead ball. Well, they're looking for contact on Nick Marshall at the dead ball to see if there was any dead ball contact. They gave Marshall a technical for for what he was saying, we believe, but they went into replay to see if there was contact. Now they'll come and make this official with us. Okay, thank you. Not enough contact, they say, for a dead ball foul on anybody. The offsetting technicals on Kobe Baptiste for Frostburg State and Nick Marshall for Point Park. So the call on the floor of shot clock violation stands. It's Frostburg State ball. And they need a bucket right here. Baptiste slips it inside. Burrows, bodied up by Fisher. Gets it away. Gets it back. Baker, the guy whose hands you want it in. Burrows step back. Offline, ripped away by Marshall. And Burrows picks up the foul under the basket.
Yeah, and I think if you're Coach Thompson, that's not the shot you really want right there from Burrow. I think you had it right on the sentence before. They need to go to Baker here, and he never got a chance. And, yeah, it's a mistake.
No points for Frostburg State the last 2:07, and even though Jaden Baker's got 5 tonight, he's not having the best night. And Burrow leaves, by the way. Sonberg comes back on for Frostburg State. He's still the second leading scorer in the Mountain East Conference for a reason. He's the guy you got to go to in the clutch.
He really is, and Burrows compounded his mistake right there. Took a bad shot, then went in and made a foul, and you know, Point Park Marshall's made the first of the 2 free throws.
Stretches the lead to 5. Marshall can't make it 6. Baker rips it down. 12 assists, 3 rebounds, 5 points, Jaden Baker. McCarthy can't step into that one. Aiden Anderson rips down the board. How is this not a travel? A lot of steps for Anderson. He coughs it up. It's Frostburg's anyway. Baker wide open. Drives, dishes. McCarthy nails the triple. Zane McCarty. 13 threes for Frostburg State, and they're back to within 2 with 6 minutes to play on the Zane McCarty tray.
You gotta love it.
Is that the guy you would have picked to shoot the ball?
Well, not necessarily, but I like the way that Baker drew the defense, found the open guy, and, you know, I think I could have stepped into that one right there. He was wide open.
Like you said, with Baker driving in, getting Van's attention. Everybody watching Baker, nobody watching McCarty, and leave him that wide open.
Yeah, that's almost like a layup right there at this point in the game. And, you know, good for McCarty. Way to step up, and he's actually been doing that on the defensive end for most of the second half.
Frostburg State has 19 field goals, 13 of them are threes, and despite shooting 37%, they're right there in it. Point Park has a 58-56 lead, and now it's Point Park. Let's watch the well run dry. No field goals in the last 3 minutes for Point Park, and they've turned it over 4 times the last 2, 17 and 17 times tonight.
And here comes the pressure.
Dialed up to 10. Van across the timeline. Pulls it away as Point Park trying to run some clock here and control the tempo of this possession. Clock tumbles inside, 5:45 to play. First round action in the Mountain East Conference men's basketball tournament from Wheeling. Van to the 10, lays it in. And Point Park up 4 in the closing stages.
Yeah, that's his game right there. And if you're the Bobcats, you got to learn your lesson. Don't let him dictate play.
Off the dribble, here comes Baker. Turn on his man, lays it in. Jaden Baker, don't let him get hot.
No, and I love the athleticism from Jaden.
7 for Baker. It's a 2-point game again. Marshall hands it off. It's Van off the window. 16 for Nathaniel Van. Doubles his season average.
And a nice setup by Marshall.
Baker wants it again, lost it, fouled, and he knocked over some of the decorations. It's trying to assist with that. He'll have the time to do it. We got a timeout on the floor. They'll get that railing fixed, we promise. 62-58 Point Park. Closing stages of this one from West Banco Arena in Wheeling on MEC TV.
For over 4 decades, the health plan has called West Virginia home. It all started with a vision to serve our community with pride and integrity. We've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. We've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Because at the health plan, we don't just work here, we live here. The Health Plan, a proud corporate partner with the Mountain East Conference.
I got involved in officiating volleyball 8 years after I played Division I in college.
And I wanted to do more than just be a spectator. I wanted to get involved and give back to the sport that I've loved for so long.
I'm a speaker,
a builder,
I coach,
culinary arts, auditor, a firefighter, and I'm a volleyball official.
Officiating volleyball was something that helped me to reconnect to my roots.
Volleyball officiating will bring positive influences into your life along with lifelong friends.
I said yes to becoming a volleyball official so that I could give back to the game.
Saying yes to volleyball officiating will give you the privilege to be a part of one of the most exciting sports around.
Challenge yourself as a referee to always be the best you can be.
For anyone contemplating becoming a volleyball official,
just go for it.
Take the plunge, open the door,
stay on the court.
Just say yes.
Say yes to officiating. Learn more about how to get involved at sayyestoofficiating.com.
Coming to you from the home of hockey's Wheeling Nailers, the East Coast Hockey League affiliate of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Mountain East Conference basketball tournament at Wheeling's West Banco Arena. We got a good one in the opener of the men's tournament. Point Park has a 4-point edge on Frostburg State. Point Park has made 4 of the last 5 from the field. Frostburg State's Jaden Baker at the line, 7 points from him, 13 assists. And he gets the first to go. Frostburg into the bonus. Both teams into the bonus. 18 fouls on Point Park, 7 on Frostburg State. The arrow is with Point Park in the event of a tie-up. Baker make it, well, leave it at 8 points. It's tipped and goes back to Point Park. I don't know. I thought from my angle, Nazareth Fisher looked like he hit that last.
You know, that's one of those, they could go to the replay if it was later in the game, and it would come down to fractions. I can live with that call, though.
Point Park gets it in, looking to grow their lead back to 2 possessions. Van has been awesome all night. Leaves it back to Williams, who also has been amazing. 16 for Van, 22 for Williams. Point Park has just 5 threes. Williams and Van have 3 of those. Single digits. Van stops with space. In and out, ripped down by Jay-Sean Freeman. Does Frostburg try to tie it up right here? They've got 13 threes. Baker gets downhill, turns inside, wrapped up, flips it out to Freeman. McCarty wants the triple, offline. Van hangs on. Fumbles it out of bounds, and it's Frostburg State's. The whole Point Park bench yelling review.
Look at this scramble underneath here. A lot of action. It looked to me like it went off number 1 of Frostburg. Not sure if they'll talk about this or not. Yep, it looks like they did switch it up.
So they switch it, and Point Park gets the ball. Again, Brendan Williams averaging 10 points a game. He's got 22 tonight. He and Van punching well above their weight class. They get it into Anderson. Defended by Baker. Across the timeline. A lot of contact and a foul on Kobe Baptiste.
There really is. I'd like to see it called a little bit tighter personally. Like I can see when Point Park's looking to inbound the ball, I don't like how Baker's able to wrap his arm around the offensive player. I mean, I think that's an automatic call.
Marshall launches, sinks the free throw. And they're trying to cut down on some of that hook and hold.
Yeah, I think that gives the defense too much of an advantage right there. Too much body contact.
Point Park following the Marshall plan, stretch their lead to 5. Marshall's got 9. Check that 10 and a rejection. Fisher swats McCarty. Lead at 5 for Point Park. Crucial possession for the Pioneers. Out of a double team, Williams throws it away. Baptiste has trailers, takes it himself, and draws the foul. Second on Williams.
Yeah, and you got to love the way Frostburg continues to scramble. How about this block?
Nazareth Fisher, a little window cleaning. It's my Bill Raftery impression. Clean the glass!
I thought I was with Raff right there. Great block by Fisher.
He's no nickel dimer. Baptiste rolls it in.
But this second free throw is really important, not just for the score, but it will allow Frostburg to get into their pressure, which has created problems for Point Park.
They won't do it. It's on the deck, and it stays with Frostburg State. Fisher touching that on the end line. And a balanced attack for Frostburg State. The leading scorer, Jaden Baker, with just 8 points, but he's dished 13 assists tonight. And getting back in this one, all 8 of those points, by the way, here in the second half. Baptiste drives, ripped down by Fisher. Point Park looks to grow this lead beyond 4 if they can get it into the front court, and they do. We're inside 3 minutes to play in this with a 10-seed Point Park looking to upset a Frostburg State team to beat them twice in the regular season. Van, 5 to shoot, drives, Van lays it in with the left hand.
How about that? Van has really stepped up in the second half.
Jay-Sean Freeman steps back, airballs the 3. Early in the shot clock for that shot, I think, EJ.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to see it in Baker's hands.
Van wide open under the basket. He stepped on the end line. Frostburg State has not hit from the field in the last 3 minutes. They're 2 of their last 10. Didn't need a 3 there. Definitely needed something, though.
Yeah, well, they got a big break right there because Van misplayed it. I think the kid's exhausted as I look out there.
Yeah. These Point Park players have played their hearts out. Frostburg State has substituted a lot more liberally in the second half. Fatigue starting to set in, the size of this stage setting in, and Aiden Anderson just fouled out of this game. Kevin Reynolds has played his cards very nicely all throughout this game, in my opinion, EJ.
He really has. You know, they've needed to control the tempo, and I would say for about 2/3 of the game they've done just that. They've also been opportunistic. So when Frostburg's come with that pressure and trapping, they've been able to kick it ahead enough to get some easy scores to keep the Bobcats at bay so far.
If Frostburg State comes back and wins this game, we may draw a circle around the play on the other end. And not to pick on Van, because you're right, he's tired, but that was an easy 2 right there. And if that stretches the lead to 8, you'd love to have had that if you're Frostburg State. Of course, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, every day be Christmas. But
it's a tough one.
That may be a crucial non-play.
Yeah, it was a tough one, but I'll tell you what, Van, he has really done an outstanding job, particularly in the second half, of stuff in the stat sheet.
Double-double for him, 18 points, 10 boards. Baptiste makes the second. 5-point ball game. Point Park out in front with 2:11 to play. Out of a double team, Warner. Van. On the left wing, Marshall. And you can bet Point Park is not going to shoot this ball until that shot clock reads single digits. Caden Warner, averaging 15 points a game, has not scored today. He and Fisher averaging in double figures, their two leading scorers. Van with one, let it go a little long. He hit the shot. And the officials want to review this. I'm not sure that he got that away.
Yeah, I don't think he did as well. Great defense by Frostburg. Forced a late shot, and this one goes to the replay.
Maybe just one pass too many, one dribble, one step too many. And we'll take a look at it with 1:40 to play here in the second half. Davis and Elkins and Wheeling in the on-deck circle. They say the shot doesn't stand.
I like the music, though. Freeze frame back in the day.
Here it is. There's the ball, and if you look at the top of the or the bottom there, there's the 0, and Van very much still has that.
Yep, and the official who was under this closest basket could see the red light at the other end. Yeah. He's the one that made the call.
Freeze frame, the unofficial song for replay reviews.
I remember Freeze frame.
The Jeopardy theme in there as well. It's like the Jeopardy theme on a mound visit in baseball.
That was the Jay Giles band.
Zane McCarty with a swat at the window. Point Park looking to grow a 5-point advantage. Frostburg State applies ball pressure and a foul on Jay-Sean Freeman.
Yeah, McCarty did not learn his lesson here. Here comes Fisher out of the weak side, and he got another block at the other end, didn't he?
9 fouls for Frostburg State, so both of these teams will be in the double bonus on the next foul. Huge 1-and-1 here for Nathaniel Van. 64% from the line this season. Tonight, Van is 1 of 2 with a double-double already to his name. Doesn't hit the front half. Jaden Baker held to 8 points. Frostburg's leading scorer to the rack. Baker with the double-double, 10 points, 13 assists. And Frostburg State back to within 3 with 67 seconds on a turning clock. Van has Fisher underneath. He takes it himself. He's fouled by Sonberg. 2 shots, that's 10 fouls, so 2 free throws either way for both teams in this one.
Yeah, another great attack by Van. You'll see it right here. I like the way he goes to the basket, and you can see Sonberg is not quite vertical. He's leaning in. But I'll tell you what, the play was really made before that. Frostburg had a great trap in the corner, and this guy named Caden Warner, who hasn't scored tonight, he really came to the pass, prevented a turnover, and kicked it up.
Warner's not played a ton. He's been limited minutes-wise in his last 5 games, but still tied for 5th most assists in the Mountain East Conference. 7th most made threes in a game. So a 5-point lead and a foul on a drive from Baker puts him at the line. So again, Warner is the guy that you have to account for, even though he hasn't played a ton in the last 5 games, because you know what he can do. He's their leading scorer, leading 3-point shooter, so you cannot ignore him.
Well, and he really did make that play. You know, you've heard your beginner coach when you were a kid say, go to the pass.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. If he did not, if he waited on it, that was going to be a turnover.
Big free throw for Jaden Baker. Again, this is a Frostburg State team that's 69% from the line, 9th best in the league. And a big pair for Jaden Baker. 1 possession game, final minute from West Banco Arena in Wheeling. Point Park looking to knock off Frostburg State after the Bobcats have a pair of wins against them this season. A kick ball is the call. Zach Thompson is up in arms, says, hey, it hit his knee. The officials discussed this one. They give it to Point Park.
I almost feel like Point Park needs to break this over the top. You know, they're getting the ball in the corner too much here, which is leading to the trap. They need to look up.
They're trying to run this clock, but at the same time, you're right, you got to get it across the timeline and get out of that trap. The entire bench says slow down. Brendan Williams gets it away. Warner fouled Trey Simmons. The freshman picks up his third.
And probably not a good foul that right there for Simmons, only because the shot clock was down to 12.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to foul, you foul early. That was kind of a tweener, and Frostburg needs all the time they can get.
Time definitely on Point Park's side. Warner, big make. It's a two-possession game. An 80% free throw shooter, leading scorer on the team, Caden Warner. That's his first point of the night. And here is the second.
If you're Frostburg, look for Caden Baker to go right to the basket here. He's got to draw one.
Baker across the timeline, slips it away. Simmons has been hot tonight. Simmons swatted by Fisher. Frostburg gets it back. There's Baker rising. Fire! Jaden Baker with the biggest three of the night for Frostburg State and their 14th. That pulls the Bobcats to within 2 with 28 seconds left and a timeout for Frostburg State. You called it.
It doesn't get any better than this, and Frostburg gets to set up their pressure. Let's see what Point Park has designed to try to beat it. You know, it really comes down to this possession and maybe one more.
Don't look now, but Jaden Baker has 15 points. We talked about this at halftime. He had no points in the first half. And we said how, you know, you just get a shot here, a steal there, a dunk there, a bucket there, a three there, something like that. And then you start to build on that. He's done well at the line tonight. Baker, 4 of 8 from the free throw line in this half. 5 field goals, 1 3, and a double-double, 15 points, 13 assists. But that's the guy that is doing what a leading scorer does. Grind through a tough first half of basketball, but pick it up in the second half.
Absolutely, and I think those were the guys we talked about at halftime, Baker and Nathaniel Van. Baker just made his mark. Now Van's got to get the ball in bounds here and draw a foul himself.
Van's been a stat sheet stuffer too. Both those guys, by the way, have double-doubles. We said Baker 15 points, 13 assists. Van 20 points, 10 rebounds. Again, Point Park shooting 54% from the field in this game. Frostburg State just 37%, but 14 threes, 5 of them from freshman Trey Simmons in the first half. He hasn't hit this half, but they've got him from all kinds of guys. Ja'Shawn Freeman with a pair. The big man, Eric Sonberg, with 2. 1 from Jaden Baker. Big one right now from Baker. So now with 28.1 left, both of these teams with 1 timeout remaining. They're both in the double bonus. In the event of a tie-up, Point Park has the arrow. Where do you go here if you're Point Park?
Well, you're going to try to get it into Van if at all possible. Regardless, wherever you get it, you got to catch and look. Don't catch and dribble. Catch and look for the open guy.
I think they want Warner. They get it to Warner. Frostburg's got to give up the foul if he can't steal it. It's in ahead. There's Marshall. Or Williams, rather, over the timeline. He's going to bear hug the ball, and they foul him with 16.4. A lot of time melted away for Frostburg State.
Yeah, they had I felt like they had their chances to come up with one right there. They did not. They grabbed the foul, still a lot of time. If you're Frostburg, if you're down 4, you want to get it to the cup quickly. If you're down 2 or 3, let it play.
22 points from Brendan Williams. And very crucially, 3 of 3 from the line after that make. Now a game-high 23 from Williams. Point Park by 3. Here's the big one to make this a 4-point ball game. Williams spins the rock and nails it. 72-68, 16.4 to go. Frostburg's got to hurry. Baker fouled. Maybe bailed out. I thought he was about to lose the basketball.
Yeah, that's exactly what you don't want to do if you're Point Park. Baker knows what he wants. He's going to go draw the foul, but only 2.5 seconds came off the clock.
And now Nick Marshall picks up his 4th. Now, there's a lot of people that say up 3, you foul the guy. Up 4, I don't think that's what you want to do. But Baker misses the free throw. 13.5 left. This to make it a one-possession game from Jaden Baker. Tipped around. Huge rebound by Williams. Brendan Williams with a giant rebound.
And I don't know if I've ever seen like the bear hug on the basketball before. I think that's taking a chance on getting a tie-up, but he drew the foul.
Yeah, not quite in that way.
That kind of reminded me of like that 5th and 6th grade basketball league where you just sort of hug the ball at the end.
Keep it away from you.
Yeah, it worked for him.
Eric Sonberg picked up the foul. Williams at the line continues his heater. He's 5 of 5 from there. 25 points tonight for Brendan Williams. Stretches the lead to 6 and a timeout for Point Park. 74-68, 7.9 to go in this one, and Point Park wants to extend their stay in the Nail City by one more day. And now if you're Frostburg State, what's that huddle like?
Well, it's tough because they don't have any timeouts left. They're going to have to, get the ball up the court as quickly as they can, knock down a 3, get a steal, and hit another 3. I mean, the odds are certainly against them. But, while we have a break, what a game.
Absolutely. This is what tournaments like this are all about. And you mentioned this earlier, EJ. If you're in the Wheeling area and you're watching this basketball is here throughout the rest of the week. So come out and watch it. See a couple games in a session, get bang for your buck, and see some great basketball.
Yeah, if this is any indication of what we're going to see this week, it's going to be a great week in Wheeling, and it always is.
Absolutely. Women have their go at it tomorrow. The men in the quarters on Friday, semis on Saturday, the championship on Sunday. Frostburg gets it in across the timeline. Baker stepping back. The triple. 0.7 to go on the clock. They may adjust that clock. 74-71 on Frostburg State's 15th made 3 of the day.
Yeah, Baker just won't quit, and we didn't expect him to. He's playing an outstanding game. I think they will add about a half a second to this clock.
By the naked eye, I thought it went in at about 1.4.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to get 1.2 to 1.4, somewhere in there.
Should Frostburg have rolled the ball a little further out and maybe tried to save some clock?
Well, I think they would have liked to, but Point Park gave them some token pressure. Kevin Reynolds wasn't going to let them do that, and so I think they did the best they could do.
18 points, 13 assists, Jaden Baker. 1.5 is what the officials say. A lot can happen at 1.5, and Frostburg State hoping that a miracle is included in that.
Yeah, you really need a deflection and a quick shot to have a chance right here. Or maybe even a player control foul, you take one. They got to get the ball back quickly.
Marshall will be looking for either Van or Warner, one would think. Baseball pass. There's the big man. It's knocked away and out of bounds. Point Park has it, but that took a lot of time off the clock, down to 0.4. Point Park just has to get it in bounds. Warner to the catch. Time expires, and Point Park has pulled the upset. Frostburg State wins twice in the regular season, but Point Park wins when it matters, behind a game-high 26 points from Brendan Williams. Despite 15 Frostburg State threes, Point Park gets the 26 from Williams, 20 from Nathaniel Van, and 10 from Nick Marshall, and they pull a 74-71 upset over Frostburg State, the first upset of the tournament here in Wheeling.
Yeah, and I just got the feeling early on that this was a 50-50 game. It could have went either way. Different styles. Point Park comes out on top.
We'll talk to Point Park head coach Kevin Reynolds in just a moment. Point Park pulls the upset. They will stay around to play in the quarterfinals on Friday against number 2 Fairmont State. 3 guys in double figures for Point Park, 54% from the field. They shot the rock well. And we'll talk in just a moment to Kevin Reynolds. Again, Point Park, a 74-71 winner of Frostburg State. We'll wrap it up after this on MEC TV.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
No weekend plans? Try some of ours. With a generous serving of historic sites, foodie eccentricities, and brewery diversions, the happiest hours start here. Mountaineer Country. Come, go wild.
Welcome back to West Banco Arena, joined by Kevin Reynolds, head coach of the Point Park Pioneers. Coach Reynolds, congratulations on this one. You had a good game plan defensively and offensively to slow down Frostburg State and control tempo of this game. What did you like most about what you were able to accomplish tonight?
We were undermanned, obviously, with Aiden Miller. You know, he's one of the better freshmen in the league, not playing today with the knee. So we needed a win. We'd lost 10 in a row. We got a lot of champions in that locker room. Last year we were 30-3. This night last year we were cutting nets down to win our River States Conference Championship. So really proud of the guys, man. Like plus 31 on the glass. We're the #1 rebounding team in all of college basketball. Division I, II, III, NAI, and JUCO. There's no one close to us. The guys play hard as can be. We just haven't had a lot of breaks. And the guys deserved it because they've been working super hard, super hard. So, man, I feel good. Even though 10-18 or 11-18 now.
Hey, doesn't matter. You're 1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
As far as this goes, tell me about how big Brendan Williams was for you tonight.
Oh, it was huge. Brendan, yeah, we needed a good lift from him. Man, he had 26 points, 9 of 14, 6 of 6 from the line. He's been ready for it. Nate, 20 and 10.
A double-double from Nathaniel Van.
He got 1,000 points tonight, too. They didn't announce that, but I'm going to tell him in the locker room. Nas, 7 and 12. I mean, Brendan had 9 boards. I mean, real good team effort. Man, just so happy, man. It's like we've had so many close games here in the last month that we haven't been able to get, and the guys work hard. And it's tough because Aiden Anderson, he won a championship at Lincoln.
Yeah.
Caden Warner won a championship at Rio Grande 2 years ago. 5 guys returned. They're all champions. So we have a heart of a champion, but for some reason, we just didn't have it clicking this year. So it was, but like you said, we just got to get 3 more now.
Frostburg State hit 15 threes. Was there ever a point where they were able to really put some fear into you because of their ability to hit from beyond the arc?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they ran the score up on us like two first game at their place. Shoot, they beat us by 40. So we know how good they were. I think they broke their school record. So we've seen them get more than 15 in the game.
Yeah, they had 17 in that game. The school record.
Yeah,
right.
They whipped us. Yeah, we heard the announcement when they were running it up on us. So that's like I guess that's the in vogue thing now, right? Run it up and call. But you know, I told the guys. I said I don't know when we're going to get our revenge on these guys, but we're going to get it. And we're lucky to get it this year because it was rough down there. We were down, I think, 46, and they were pressing the heck out of us still, and we were spitting it up. And hey, it's not their job to keep it close, right? So I wasn't mad at the coaches or them. I just told our guys, like, my era of playing, we just, we won. We didn't do that. But I said, hey, different era now. Everyone wants to be on social media and do those things, and it's humbling, right? It's humbling and humiliating. And I think that night really helped us for today, because guys still had that in their mouth, a bad taste in their mouth. We played them at our place, a hell of a game. Had a few breaks not go our way, and man, we haven't won in like all February. So that's
that 10-game losing streak comes to an end.
That sounds good.
That monkey just right off your back.
Yeah, take it off my back. Yeah, that feels good, man. Like, man, that just it's going to be so great to be in the locker room after a win. The guys have been working super hard. We got super nice guys. Like, you probably don't know, but we have 3 guys out of the seniors that got an undergraduate degree, getting an MBA this spring. 2 other guys, a DA, and
that's important stuff too.
Oh yeah. That's why I said, like,
that's real life stuff.
Oh yeah, so the guys are champions, man. Like you said, you got 3 guys who are going to have an undergraduate, an MBA from our school. DA's like a 3.9 student with us. So, and the other guy's Nas is going to graduate this summer. So, man, that was good. That's sorry about that. I'm just like super happy.
Hey,
like,
that's
for the
okay.
guys,
You're allowed to be super happy for your team, for your guys. Tell me about Fairmont State in the next round. You're going to get another good shooting team.
Oh, yeah, and we played 2 great games against them. We just had some abnormal games against them this year. Like, we lost at home by 5. We lost at their place, and just a crazy game. It ends like fans underneath the basket got evicted from their seats, and it was like a heated game.
Yeah.
And we ended up losing by 7, and we played well. We played well in both games against Fairmont. They got 2 all-conference players or 3 all-conference players, a real good coach, and we got to get rested up and be down here, 12 o'clock on Friday, right?
I believe so.
12 o'clock?
Forget about the record. You're 1-0 now.
Ah, man, that sounds good, man. 1-0 sounds a lot better than 11-18.
Hey, Kevin Reynolds, head coach of the
Thanks
Point
for your
Park
help.
Pioneers.
See you on Friday at 12.
Hey, take care. We'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Friday at noon gets Kevin Reynolds, the head coach of the Point Park Pioneers. Again, taking a look at some final stats from this game. Point Park shot 51% from the field, and despite just 5 threes, Point Park comes away with a win. 15 threes for Frostburg State. Frostburg State 10 of 19 from the free throw line, whereas Point Park 17 of 23 from the line. Point Park out rebounds Frostburg State 49-18. That's the part we expected. We expected Point Park to out rebound Frostburg State. 21 turnovers for Point Park in this ball game, and they survived all that, and they managed to come away with a win. Some final thoughts, EJ.
Yeah, I thought it was a great basketball game. Kudos to Kevin Reynolds, who was just here with you. I thought he did a nice job of directing his team. They controlled the tempo, and they ultimately came out on top.
Yeah. So, again, the final score in favor of Point Park, 74-71. Point Park knocks off Frostburg State, the 10 over the 7, the first upset of the 2025 Mountain East Conference Tournament presented by Health Plan here at Westbanco Arena in Wheeling. And now for our entire crew, I'm a partner, EJ Shachinsky. My name is Eric Little. Thank you for joining us on MEC TV. Coming up next, it's Davis and Elkins in Wheeling. Much more to come here on MEC TV. Good night, everybody.